Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
Coming up today on HHS In Depth. Each day, our cafeteria is ready to serve a variety of lunch options for students. But have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes? We'll provide some of those answers to you today.
Along with a story on how after-school clubs are formed from the idea to the creation of getting your club off the ground. You'll learn it all.
Plus, in sports, postseasons and regular seasons continue. I'll get you caught up later in Down to the Wire.
Those stories coming to you today, only on HHS In Depth.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Noah Johanningsmeyer.
And I'm Nada DeHook. And Noah, each day our Homestead cafeteria staff are in charge of providing over 2,000 lunches to students with many different options. But what a lot of people don't know is how everything works behind the scenes before that food ever comes close to reaching your plate. According to the USDA's Food and Nutrition Service, the National School Lunch Program provides lunches to over 31 million children each school day. It becomes a habit for students. Get in line and serve your lunch. However, behind the scenes of every lunch menu, there are months of research and rulings that directly affects what schools serve to their students. So the question becomes, what goes into compiling these scheduled meals each day? At lunch, menu planners must aim for every meal to include the minimum portion size of 5 components, including protein, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, and fluid milk. At its core, school lunches depend on politics as well, including who is in the House and Senate voting on new legislation. In 2010, the Obama administration helped pass the Healthy, Hungry, Free Kids Act. This authorized funding for federal school meals, child nutrition programs, and increasing access to healthy food for low-income households. However, although there are good intentions behind updated lunch laws, they have become a struggle for schools around the nation to implement.
Michelle Obama kind of started it. We're still seeing the repercussions of that. A lot of us directors are not a fan of those because they are so strict and it will be so hard and you guys will not like the food.
It is so hard to say we don't want as tight of regulations. It sounds really counterintuitive, but the reality is like we don't want to force them to take a fruit or a vegetable or modify the nutrition fact panel so much that it doesn't taste good and we can't find any products that meet the guidelines.
Thus, although there are good intentions behind updated lunch laws, they have been a struggle for schools around the nation to implement. With a decreased amount of sugar, sodium, and fat that can be included in a meal, the portion size becomes smaller as well. But what is more important for students? Having a delicious or nutritious lunch.
In order to have the maximum amount of kids eating and getting at least some form of nutrition, you should have delicious lunches.
Personally, I think our school lunch should be nutritious. I feel like some of our food is not really as healthy as it could be, and sometimes it makes me not feel as good as I think I should throughout the school day.
Regardless of these limitations, schools around the country strive to find ways to make meals healthy, tasty, and filling each day. For HHS In Depth, I'm Nada DeHook.
Will we continue to feel the heat, or is there still some frosty weather to come? I'll be back later to let you know if the temperature will continue to climb.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Welcome back. Well, it's no secret that Homestead offers a wide variety of extracurricular activities and clubs for students to participate in. But have you ever wondered how these clubs are created?
HHS In Depth reporter Mara Nicholson fills us in on the steps to take in order to create a club from the ground up.
Law Club, Minority Student Union, Students for Choice, Students for Life, and National Organizations for Women. These are just a few of the clubs that have recently been created by students within the last 2 years. And while we have a wide variety, some might underestimate how easily these clubs came about.
So to create our club, we started by looking for a sponsor. We found Mrs. Hoffer, who was amazingly willing to sponsor us, so we got that started. She helped us fill out some paperwork to do some things there, and once then it got approved by administration, we had to write a club constitution, which is information like what your officers are, your election procedures, your club's mission, and things like that, and then that was sent to student government for approval.
I emailed Mrs. Bay if I could make the club, and I told her kind of what I wanted to do with the club and what the club was going to be like, and then she gave me kind of like a document, club constitution, and I kind of had to edit that according to, the school guidelines, and then I got it approved by Dr. Robinson, who's the sponsor, and I also had to get it approved by Mrs. Bay.
Even though these are only high school clubs, students make sure to go above and beyond with opportunities and discussion topics to keep the meetings entertaining and informational.
Basically, Students for Choice teaches students what it means to be pro-choice. We also talk about the political events that happen throughout the world, our country, or even our state. And we also hold debates with Students for Life, and it's kind of a monthly thing now.
We do rapid response, which would be going to events like protests. I think it's always a great idea to create a club about something you're passionate about, whether that be a serious cultural issue like abortion or just a simple idea like a ping pong club. If you're passionate about it, I think it's great to start a club to find community with others and to have that space to share and to do activities.
If you or someone you know are interested in creating a club here at Homestead, make sure to find a sponsor and email Mrs. Bay for more details. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Mara Nicholson.
Thanks, Mara. You may have heard the news last week that a change in the style of snow days was made by the Indiana Department of Education as a part of the Indiana House Bill 1093 signed into law by Governor Holcomb. This bill only allows schools to have 3 e-learning days a year. All other online instruction is required to be teacher-directed, or in other words, for us at Homestead, it must take place on Zoom. Remote learning days require schools to deliver live instruction with students within a 3-hour window, and Homestead will be doing so from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Attendance will be mandatory, and students who do not attend will be marked absent with a parent excused or sick day using a doctor's note. Zoom time will be used to introduce the lesson and to provide any instructions needed to complete the work assigned for the day. For the remainder of class, the teacher will be available for students to make sure everyone is on task and understands what needs to be done. Students will have a 6-minute passing period between classes. Additionally, teachers will have the option of an updated Zoom feature that allows students to only see the teacher and themselves on the screen, and not the rest of the class. The pre-planned e-learning days, including our last one on March 10th, will not be affected. These new regulations will be put in place upon the next cancellation.
Students who have started new courses this semester that offer dual credit from Ivy Tech, you need to be sure to complete all steps towards being correctly registered, enrolled, and qualified for your new spring courses. All steps that are posted in your Class of Canvas course must be completed prior to the February 14th deadline. Even returning Ivy Tech students need to be sure to enroll in their semester courses via their dual enroll accounts. Contact Mr. Clark with any questions at the email address shown here.
Photo classes are in need of cameras, but not the fancy type. If you have any old point-and-shoot film cameras that you no longer need, photography teacher Mr. Menko would love to take them off your hands. These are the kinds that you load film into and go. Any brand or model would be great. Also, feel free to contact Mr. Menko if you know where these might be able to be bought in bulk, like a garage sale or a thrift store, for example. If you have one to donate, you can stop by room 104 anytime, or contact Mr. Menko at the email address shown here.
Class of 2023 seniors, are you prepared for graduation day? At this time, there are still nearly 30% of seniors who have yet to place their orders for caps and gowns. If you are still one of those students who need to place an order, please do so today. The prices for all items will increase after February 17th. For more information, check the daily announcements page on Canvas.
FCCLA's candy fundraiser is currently taking place during lunch. Candygrams are sold for $2 each, and they allow you to write your friends a fun note, and then on Valentine's Day next week, they will receive the note along with a piece of candy or chocolate. The fundraiser ends Monday, February 13th.
Did you know that a real radio station is on the air right here at Homestead and that students host their own shows each day after school? To learn more about it, here is HHS In-Depth reporter Brent Tisdale.
The Point 91 FM offers a great selection of indie music, and it is entirely student-run. But one of the most unique things about the Point 91 FM is the talk shows hosted by Homestead students that air after school, Monday through Friday. These talk shows are 45 minutes with breaks in between each topic. Some radio shows even have special DJ personalities.
My sister was actually in the program before, and she kind of introduced me to the program, so I thought it would be really fun for me and my friend Sam Tennell, he's actually my co-star, to do a radio show just to have that cool opportunity.
The Point 91 FM is a safe spot for students when looking to express themselves or simply trying something new and fun.
I was in advanced radio, and I had a radio show in class, and my friend Brent walked in one day and asked me if I wanted to do a radio show with him. Actually, he just asked for a radio show partner in general, but I was interested in getting on my own radio show, and so I volunteered to make a radio show with him, and that's what got me initially on the Point 91 FM.
The Point 91 FM is a great extracurricular to be a part of. If you are interested in having your own show in the future, come to room 600 for more. For HHS In-Depth, I'm Brent Tisdale.
Thanks, Brent. Well, earlier today, we told you how to create a new club. And in now is HHS In-Depth reporter Matthew Owen to bring you a story about one of the newest clubs that are up and running, the Horticulture Club.
In the last few months, a new club has come to Homestead, Horticulture Club. This is open to all Spartans, and Spartans will have the opportunity to compete in a plant growing competition and also be able to best take care of plants and cultivate them in the most efficient way.
The purpose of Horticulture Club is to appreciate and understand more about plants and what it takes to grow plants and how to care for them.
Homestead Junior Stephen Meyer, the vice president, likes the camaraderie of the club and the interactions.
So throughout my high school career, I've always wanted to be a big part of a club in the leadership area. And this year I had the opportunity to lead Horticulture Club along with some of my friends. And I've always been interested in nature and plants. So I thought it was the perfect opportunity for me to start a club.
The Horticulture Club has a variety of events to participate in.
So we're currently planning to have a guest speaker. They work at the botanical garden, and they're going to teach us the everyday days of having a horticulture involved job. We also want to take a club visit to the botanical gardens and just spend an afternoon there. We also have plans to volunteer at Ingle Marsh. And at the end of the year, we have a plant competition where everyone submits their plants, and we're going to have them judged, and the winner gets a small prize.
All different types of people can be in our club. We do a lot of different things. You don't need any knowledge to be in our club. We really just try to teach the people in our club different things about horticulture and plants, and we just try to have fun with it.
It's just a great opportunity to learn about plants, and gardening and taking care of plants is a lifelong hobby. So this is a great opportunity to just be introduced to it, and everyone's welcome.
The next meeting for Horticulture Club is February 16th at 2:45 in Mrs. B's room, room 208. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email Mrs. B at the email address shown here. Reporting for HHS In-Depth, I'm Matthew Otten.
Thanks, Matthew. Well, things have certainly warmed up this week compared to what we saw just a week ago.
Emily Adams joins us now to tell us about the upcoming 3-day weekend forecast.
Thanks, Nada and Noah. As we finish out this 4-day week, we're looking at some cloudy and cold weather going into the weekend. If you're looking for an opportunity to snuggle up in bed, you'll get that chance these next few days. Today's rainy weather will continue into Friday, but unfortunately, the temperature will continue to drop about 16 degrees. Saturday, we'll see another 9-degree drop with a high of only about 38 degrees with some cloudy skies. Luckily, Sunday we will feel the sun once more, but from behind some clouds as it will remain partly cloudy, but get a nice high of 47 degrees. Will the weather continue to heat up, or will we see some of that rain return? I'll return later to let you know what you can expect for the next week.
Thanks, Emily. Next and down to the wire, Anthony Gary is in to recap the busy week in sports, including our girls winning another basketball sectional and 8 Spartans advancing to semi-state in wrestling this weekend.
Stick around, you're watching HHS In-Depth.
Hello, Homestead. Here's this week's Club Roundup. Students for Life meets Tuesday until 3:15 in Mr. Tucky's room, room 503. E-Cart Club will have a short meeting in room 933 on Wednesday. Film Club will meet in room 614 next Tuesday after school. They will be starting Shrek and discussing its impact on the film industry. Fashion Club will meet next Wednesday, February 15th after school in room 303. Ping Pong Club will hold a call-out meeting next Friday, the 17th in the cafeteria. To get up-to-the-minute club updates and additional information, please check out the HHS announcement page on Canvas.
Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Anthony Gary. This week sure was once again an eventful week for Spartan Athletics, starting last Saturday with our girls basketball team in the sectional final. Early on, it was raining threes from all Spartan girls to give the girls a comfortable 31-20 lead at the half. In the second half, the threes would not stop as 7 different Spartans knocked down a triple throughout the night. At the end of it all, the girls cruised to a 15-point victory to win their 5th sectional title in a row. Their journey will continue this Saturday at Marion in regionals. Our girls swim team competed in sectionals on Saturday and finished runner-up. Ripley Merritt, Hayden Schertz, and McCartney Mailer and Maggie Stewart won the 200 medley relay. McCartney Mailer won the 200 IM and Ripley Merritt won the 100 back. The girls will compete at the state meet tomorrow. The girls' track and field season officially begins on Monday, February 13th, 3 to 5 p.m. All potential student athletes not still participating in a winter sport should plan to attend. Be prepared for practice and meet in the new community room by 3 p.m. All participants must have all Final Fours completed before coming to practice. There's also a mandatory parent-student meeting that will be held on February 14th from 5:30 to 6:30 in the new community room. Enter door 26. And also, boys track and field is having a call-out meeting today in room 727 after school. After the wrestling regionals, there are 8 Spartan wrestlers that will be heading down to semi-state. Thomas Seidel, Jake Thrash, Aaron Kistler, Easton Arsini, Rylan Scott, Nolan Scott, Caleb Evans, and Colin Graylis. If you would like to learn more about the wrestlers going to state, check out the HHS In-Depth Instagram account for a feature made by Luke Ryan. Tomorrow night, the boys basketball team is in action at home for senior night versus Concordia. That'll do it for this week's edition of Down to the Wire. Thank you for watching, and Emily will have a final check of the weather when we return.
Next week on HHS In Depth, reporter Megan Kelly will give you the rundown on the biggest show choir competition in the nation, taking place next weekend.
Looking into next week, the weekend's cloudy weather will continue to linger, but we'll see some warmer days ahead in the 50s coming up. But the sun will continue to hide as cloudy skies are expected Tuesday through Thursday. Yet on Wednesday, there will be some quick showers with a high of 56 degrees. Hopefully we won't see any mugginess with the temperatures and rain, but only time will tell, so we may want to prepare for some light humidity this upcoming week. Nada, Noah, back to you.
All right, thank you, Emily, and thank you for watching today.
Good luck to all of our Homestead athletes and other performers in action this weekend.
Want to catch up with HHS In Depth beyond this news show? Check out our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Homestead Media for updates on future shows and nationwide news.
Have a great 3-day weekend, and we will see you back here again next week.